Being made about D'Angelo and everything, how good is it to have a senior who's been around a little bit to kind of step up and really take over the offense, score 22 points, career high?
You know, that was big for us. I was so happy to see the ball going in for Sam. I mean, he puts a lot of time in, and you know, we've kind of been saying if we can get him making some shots, I think it makes us a lot more effective just in terms of our spacing and you know, creating driving lanes, that sort of thing, and you know, his ability in transition. You know, everybody fears he's running to the rim. You know, being able to step out and knock down the shot definitely helps open things up for us.
You guys got out 12-0, and it seemed like everybody was contributing and scoring and rebounding and assisting, and just talk about maybe the way you had 5 guys tuned in at the beginning.
Well, that was something I think from the standpoint that, you know, we've talked about trying to get off to a good start, and you know, I told the guys before the game, I said, hey, this is the only time we're home in 27 days, I think it is, and you know, let's make sure we put our best foot forward in terms of starting the basketball game. You know, I thought defensively, you know, you talk about Sam's offense, I thought he did a great job in guarding Newble, and even the switches we had, you know, was good. Guys made, you know, Katie Bates made an unbelievable play defensively there in the second half on a rotation. But no, that was the start was definitely the key to the game.
After you got the lead, though, I mean, the closest it ever was 8. How, you know, a lot of times you see a team make a run, it never got close. Did you feel good about the way your guys played throughout? And
yeah, I mean, we had the one stretch where we gave up like 4 straight layups in transition. But I thought for the most part we did a pretty good job of staying with it. We were a little bit sloppy to start the second half with some turnovers. We didn't catch the ball. We fed middle. We didn't dive on it. But the execution was pretty good. I thought we were able to change gears when we needed to. Just in terms of transition wasn't there. We brought it out and we executed, which is something we've been striving for.
That's like 5 out of 6 for you guys now getting it done. But the last 2 specifically, taking on teams that you guys should beat, or most of us think that you should beat, but not just beating them, but really handling them and putting the pedal to the metal and taking care of business. What does it say about where this team is right now and how they're evolving? And, of course, 2 big ones on the road coming next.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny because typically in this league, being in this league for 11 years, it usually comes down to the last 2 minutes of the game. And you know, I don't know why, but, you know, hopefully we're doing something right in terms of that, but I know that you know, Saturday at noon it's a whole another ball game. So you know, going on the road for the next 2, we've got to get our rest. It's an incredible week when you think about playing Sunday night in New Jersey, here tonight, and now we're gone again. You know, it's kind of like an NBA type schedule, as we told our guys.
You talked about the final 2 minutes of the game, but it seemed like in this one, kind of in the final 7, several turnovers, some trouble rebounding. They were doing pretty well around the perimeter and able to get a guy in the paint, you know, a couple easy put-ups. And it seemed like D'Angelo and Jay-Sean were getting a little emotional. Would you say there was like a loss of focus where you guys had to tighten up and really close it?
Yeah, I mean, and we kind of had that the other night too. You know, I think from the standpoint of they cut it maybe to 12 or something like that in the second half, and you know, we talked about, I think it was the 7 or the 8 to 4. In the first half, we made a pretty good run there, and you know, we were saying that, hey, in the same situation here, let's finish this thing out. But you know, probably got a little bit careless. You know, we went small there at the end, and you know, give Sam credit. He was playing like 8 different positions out there, and was very effective in all of them.
And you mentioned Sam. He seemed to be making an appearance in the backcourt maybe a little more often than usual. And normally you see D'Angelo and Shannon back there, but they kind of had a steady rotation. Was that something by design for Penn State specifically?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it was. It was, yeah.
How do you talk about the ascension of your team every year in terms of getting to play your best basketball around this time of year. D'Angelo obviously has come around. How important is it just for this team in general to get consistency from Sam, and do you kind of feel like you're on the verge of that?
Well, I hope so, because I think that this is the time, and for those guys to have an understanding, where they got 3 games left in this building or whatever it is, the sand in the hourglass is winding down for those guys. So you hope that they have that sense of urgency to focus and intensify everything that they're doing to play their best basketball down the stretch.
How do you judge the way that Shannon played tonight? He had career high 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 points, 2 steals. Was he all around effective for you, or? Yeah,
he was, but he was a little bit careless. With 5 turnovers, and some of them weren't forced. But I think from the standpoint of what he did defensively and obviously rebounding the basketball, those are good signs for him. We need Shannon to play well for us.
Thad, last year Sam just now said that he wasn't really focused on last year's game and how that was going to play into this one. I was wondering if you said anything to the team about the experience last year, losing on home court and losing over there to this Penn State team.
They knew that. They knew that we had been swept last year, and I think from the standpoint of just the respect that they have for Penn State and their players, and I think Pat is doing an incredible job over there. They've been really. Maybe with the exception of night, like just right there so many times, and so our guys understand that. We know we got to go back over there in a few weeks and play again, and so I think with that said, it's good that Sam recognized that.
Over here. Thad, you'd mentioned your defense a little bit earlier. I think that's 4 games in a row now where you've held opponents to 60 or fewer. Just tonight, what did you see, and just over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, tonight I thought we were active. I thought guys did a pretty good job of reading. Penn State can cause some problems for you, and obviously when you have a player of the caliber of Newell, how he can score so many different ways. We had to be a little bit creative in terms of what we did. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare for him, but guys, if they got us on something in timeouts, and I told them this after the game, they did a great job of coming out of timeouts and adjusting to what we were telling them we needed to switch and what we needed to do.
D'Angelo couldn't make anything tonight, hardly. Still comes up with 17, 6, and 7. Could you discuss just kind of that all-around range of his game? What does Kellogg call it? Stat sheet stuffer or whatever?
Yeah. Well, I think that's the sign of a great basketball player, and if he had a little bit of an off night, but still did so many things well in terms of helping us win the basketball game. They trapped him a lot off the ball screens and committed guys, and he found guys and kept the ball moving, and he is who he is. I mean, that's you have a lot of trust and faith in him and what he's doing.
Do you expect to have Anthony back Saturday?
It's a day-to-day thing. It's a growing injury, and I don't know. It's been there for weeks. He couldn't go yesterday. We tried to move him around today. He couldn't go. So I don't know.
How did you think your post game was tonight without him there?
I thought they did a pretty decent job. We got to get a mirror, getting up through the strips. But defensively, they both did a great job in terms of what we asked them to do. And I thought Trey was pretty effective as well.
Was there anything with Anthony that happened Sunday, or that?
No, it's been. Honestly, it's probably been 3 weeks, and we've held him out some, but it's not getting better in terms of the growing.
It's a pull or a strain, or
you're asking the wrong guy.
Okay,
yeah,
it's just sore.
I don't know what exactly. I hate to say and be wrong on it, but growing injury.
You've for the most part had a rotation of 3 guys in there. Do Amir and Trey going forward, if he can't play, do they have to be more careful with their fouls now?
Yeah, they do. They do, and I think that was something that we had to guard against, and like I said, we went a little bit small there at the end to combat it. But those guys have definitely got to be careful in that regard.
I don't know. We saw yesterday, but any update on Mark and if you expect him back on Saturday?
Yeah, we're hoping he's back Saturday. Yes.
Just dovetailing off of that, with what you've gotten out of Keita the last couple of games, and you seem to do pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
Is he earning time no matter what happens, or what do you?
Yeah, no, I think from the standpoint of how Keita has played, I'm just so excited for him. This is kind of what we've been trying to get out of him, just in terms of his aggressiveness. And I keep saying it. He's long. He can block shots. He can rebound out of his area. And I don't think he shot the ball particularly well tonight, but we know he can do that and really stretch a defense.
Coach, that was pretty much what I wanted to ask you. But also, he had 3 blocks tonight. Where is he defensively?
He's learning how to use his length, and like I said, he made a couple rotations defensively tonight that I think kind of solidified that he understands what's going on out there now. Okay. Thanks, guys.